Hello everyone and welcome back to Jubilee Road. Today we'll be looking at the LNER Hornby P2 locomotives. More specifically, the original P2 and the newer tooled P2. So hello everyone, yes, and welcome back to the layout. Today we are going to be comparing the original Hornby tooled P2 with the newer one. See the differences, see if they're much different to each other and that kind of stuff. So the original one is actually this one just here. It is number 2001 Cock of the North. Now I believe back then this is the only one Hornby offered, the name that is. They did offer a railroad range and they did have this one, which is a more enhanced locomotive, but basically it was still a railroad locomotive, although Hornby thought it wasn't. But yeah, we won't get into that one today. And then here we have the newer tooled one, which came out this year, which is number 2007 Prince of Wales. Now, as all of you should know, this one is actually based on the new build that is currently being worked on here in the UK, and this one is in as-built condition when the LNER built them. So the original then, it is fitted with TTS sound, although it's failed, so it doesn't work anymore. The recommended retail price for these that I've had a look around, and someone helped me out in a group chat recently, was around 100 and I think it was £55 with that TTS fitted. Now if you know any different, please pop it in the comments. The new one, I believe the recommended retail prices of these are, is it about £250? I think it is. Obviously I didn't pay £250 for it, I paid £229 for this, and as the recommended retail price was £155, it should be probably about £10 to £15 less than that. So the original video was uploaded in 2014, and I believe that's when the original came out, is way back then. So it's almost 10 years ago and the price has gone up by around about £100, although this one is fitted with sound, this one is just DCC ready, so you can, see the difference in price there over the last nearly 10 years. In today's video then, we are going to look at both locomotives, see the details, the finish, the quality, and the quality of the running, and then at the end we're going to run them around the layout so you can see what they look like hauling 10 Mark 1s. So once again, welcome to Jubilee Road today, and I hope you enjoy today's video looking at the Hornby P2. So let's get into today's video. This next bit, as usual, is done a bit sort of freehand, as I would say, so it might be a little bit more shaky. So this is the original LNER P2 that Hornby did, way back in 2014. Well, that's when I did the review on this, so I'm pretty much sure that's when they originally came out, quite some time ago. This is not the railroad version of this, as they did do one. This was in the Hornby Railways range, so this has the extra detailing and livery. Now, straight off, yes, it does have a buffer missing, and that is the biggest problem with these. There was way too much moulded parts going on. So these buffers are not sprung, they're not metal, and they are sort of moulded into the buffer beam. So I can't really do a huge amount of getting a new buffer there. I could get one 3D printed, I suppose I could do that, but we'll have to look at that in the future, or as a whole new body shell, and I really don't want to do that, not since the new one's here. The detailing on these earlier models is actually rather nice, as you can see there. All the pipework and separately fitted parts around this area is nice. Another part I really don't like is all this plastic valve gear, and unfortunately this has now come away. You might be able to just spot that, which is a little bit of a shame, but hopefully I'll be able to sort that out. Hopefully, does that change on the new model? I'm sure you're already aware of that. The printing, yeah, it's done really rather well. The lining's nice. The shade of green is, yeah, not brilliant. It looks extremely flat and horrible on these. Well, I think horrible is a bit too harsh for Hornby there, but it's just not as nice. You do have the name, which this one was Cock of the North. I believe that's the only one they brought out back then, which is number 2007, and you got the LNER printing. The co-load, yeah, it's okay. It's nothing too special there. The glazing is nice. The wheels, again, yeah, they're nicely modelled. I don't know how they get that wrong, but you know, there is no cab detail really to speak of in these like we get now. But overall, this was not a bad model back then. So really nice model, pretty sturdy as well. So here we are then, let's have a look at the new model. And here it is. And of course, there are differences. Straight away, sprung metal buffers. That's what we want. Much nicer. The livery, again, much better finish, better shade, and it's got a really good finish. You can see that shining. The older version did not do that. There is less detail around here, but this is because this is Prince of Wales, which is the new build, so it will be slightly different, although it's this very similar locomotive. The handrails are not painted in silver. These are body coloured. Again, that's probably down to the livery choice of the new build. The printing is way better. It's definitely got that 3D effect on there if you just go in. The detail overall is much finer. The valve gear, again, is where this model is let down. Got a bit blurry there, I don't know why. Just here, all this is still plastic and very flimsy if I just show you. No, I said that in my original review, that is really not nice. That's going to end up breaking eventually like the other one if you don't take really good care of the locomotive. The good thing with this does have a bit more technology in it. We do have a firebox glow, a fully detailed cab. The co-load is that little bit nicer, and you can see the different style tender this one has, as this is the new build, as I said. So overall, which one do you think looks better? I gotta be honest, yes, the newer model does look better overall because its finish is nicer. If we just come back a little bit, there we go. You can't actually tell that much, I don't suppose, but you can see this, how much shinier this is with the light reflecting on it to the flat colour this. And if you notice, to me, the tender shade of green is different to the locomotive shade of green. Now, I don't know if that's the camera doing that. Nope, the new one's okay, but this one does seem that way. So the next step then is the running quality. Which one of these runs the best? Let's find out, shall we? First up, the original LNER P2 from Hornby. We'll just ease up the controller then and go in reverse direction and see what we get. So here we go. Now this locomotive never started off very well from day one, but once it gets up and running, it's actually rather smooth running quality on this. As you can see, it does not like starting off at all. It never did. But as you can see, as I said, once it gets up to speed, it's actually very smooth running indeed. There you go. Nice constant speed. No real motor noise to speak of. These were very good when they came out in 2014. Just bring it back into camera again for you. And as you can see, the running quality is alright, and it hasn't really changed since the day I bought it. The newer model, now down on the track here at Jubilee Road. These were released this year with new technology, as I mentioned, and this is obviously running DC as well, so that will be a good comparison. One thing I do want to mention, you would expect this locomotive to weigh considerably more, possibly, than the original. It doesn't. There is very little difference in weight between these two, actually. I've noticed when handling them. There might be a slight difference, but I actually can't tell when handling these models. With this one, we're going to go in reverse again, using the same controller. Let's see if this runs any better. You kind of think it should, shouldn't it? but we'll find out. Here we go then, I'll ease up the controller and we'll set off. Again, it doesn't start off as good as you would think, so let's see if we can do it better this way round. Yeah, see? Much smoother there, I did that much better that time. So the start off, yes, can be much smoother. Oh yeah, see? You can see the difference in quality of the motor here. It runs so much smoother at the lower speeds. As you can see there, yes, the running quality is definitely better at lower speeds. But once they both speed up, they're around about the same. And there you have it. That was the comparison between the old Hornby LNER P2 and the newly released Hornby LNER P2. Put in the comment sections then which one you think is the nicer locomotive. I think it's slightly obvious. The new one is definitely better. It runs better, it looks better. So it'll be really nice to hear from you in the comment sections. Just before I leave, there'll be no video next week as I'm travelling out to Germany to visit Miniature Wonderland, and of course I'm taking my camera with me, so bear that in mind. I'm now going to leave you with a few running shots of each locomotive here at the layout, and I'll be back after my German adventure very soon. Bye everyone.